Okay, everybody, and welcome to the MAIRSY Concept. Okay, my name is Stephen Mayer. Okay, I'd like to talk to Lil Rev with me today, and Lil Rev is actually a client of myself. As people know, that I also do personal training, and I've recently noticed that some of his music as we play in the gym, talented, I say on my part, but I'd like to know more about Lil Rev. Who is Lil Rev?
Lil Rev. I feel like, for those who don't know, my real name is Colby Taylor, but I feel like at this point so much has kind of changed over the last 6 months maybe, and I feel like Lil Rev's just me now. You know, Colby Taylor's just, it's just someone in the past.
You see, I remember the wee boy when he first came in with his dad, and you came in and you were that wee small boy, and I always remember that wee stare, and you came into my gym and you were standing there and you were looking up to me, and I'm actually looking up to you now, and I'm looking up to you as in height and looking up to you as in where you are, and that's a fact, because as people know as well, that I'm a personal development coach, and I do see talent in people, and I've always spotted that talent, and I just think it's something lately I wanted to know more about and what you do, Rev.
Yeah, music's really starting to take off now, and I feel like a lot of the struggle for me starting off on music was always about, it was really always about how other people are going to look at me. You know, especially over here. I'm not in Chicago, I'm not in, South Central, I'm not in Atlanta, I'm not in any place like that. I'm not even in London where they do all the grime artists out there like Stormzy or something like that. You know, I'm up here, and nobody does what I do.
Is there a market for your style of music? And you stay in Motherwell, Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
What's the market like for your music here?
The market
for your
is
music?
Unbelievable. The market's expansive.
But the market in this area, geographically this area, who has your style of music in this area?
Everyone. All my age demographic is unbelievable for all the music. They all play it.
Do you believe that you get one up in people on what you do? Do you believe you have a different style? Do you believe there's something more to Lil Rev than what other people are actually producing just now?
Fucking damn straight. I wouldn't be sitting here if I didn't think I was.
No, you're definitely talented. I've heard some of your stuff.
I know for a fact, and that's not me being like outlandish or cocky.
I've never seen you that way.
I know for a fact that I'm better than half the people out there, and that's not me even being up on top of myself.
So Rev, what's your goal? What is your goal? Let's just have a 5 year. Say we've got a 5 year forecast. What would your 5 year forecast be for where you like to be in the music industry?
Well, my success I don't judge by money. Don't judge it by fame. I don't judge it. I judge it literally by the only thing that's ever, especially now more than ever, been important to me, and that is my music changing the world? Is it changing people's lives? Is it helping people through anxiety and depression? Is it helping people have good times and make memories and be happy? Is it helping the world go around? And am I making a name for myself as that guy that's doing those good things? And honestly, I could live the rest of my life in just a kind of standard house, not any expensive, extravagant things, but as long as I was sitting and I knew that I've changed at least one person.
Well, I remember we were having a chat in the gym roughly about 3 weeks ago, and it was a usual training session, what we do, and it was myself who really, as you know, there's a lot of mental health things that come my way regarding the personal development coaching, and it was yourself that actually put the idea into my head. Now, I think we spoke about this as a bit of a laugh, but it was something that grew. That I quite fancied doing a rap song towards that. We laughed about it, but it became serious. But what gave me the drive on that one there, Rev, was I listened to some of your stuff. I see your studio, I see your drive, I see you, and I see it in your eyes that this is something that I thought was possible, and you made that possible for me, and you are going to make that possible. Know that it's for myself to break into that world, but the whole conversation here really is how you can install that in others, and you installed that in me, that somebody that's not into this type of music, well, into singing, I should say. I'm not a singer.
And that's something that I would like to speak about as well, because the way I see it, the only thing I want to do in my life is that music, and that's what I want to do. If I don't end up doing that, I know it maybe shouldn't be the way I see things, but I see my life as partially a failure if I don't do that. And today, WRLD passed away, age 21, and I first heard him summer 2017, and that was before I properly decided, right, This is what I want to do. And that guy, Just WRLD, that man is the whole reason that I want to pursue music, and that's my whole life. So the way I see it is, today the guy that passed away was the guy who essentially, if anything ever becomes of me, that'll be the guy that made my life.
How did Just WRLD first influence Lil Rev? How did it influence you? What made him do something more than others?
Do you know what it was? First time I ever heard Just WRLD's song, I heard Lucid Dreams, as most people did, and I heard it on the Lyrical Lemonade music video channel. And at that point I was going through a really tough time in my life, and I just accepted this kind of greater separating of one of my close persons that I would consider my family member. And from the second I heard his voice, I started bawling, started streaming of tears, because from that moment I'd accepted that, and just through hearing his voice, immediately within 2.5 minutes of me ever hearing his voice, he changed my life.
But there's a talent in itself. Somebody at 21 years of age who can make people think different, sing different, be different.
He was only 19.
Oh, 19, well I picked up wrong, sorry about that there.
No, he's 21 now.
Oh, he's 21 now, sorry, he was 19
mental.
when he started, and I think it's a massive talent.
15.
Massive talent.
It's a massive talent, it's beyond belief. And more than anything, what inspires me to pursue music isn't even like the money or the fame and all these people that all the things they do. What inspires me more than anything is, see, when I sit down and I put my headphones in and I hear a new song and I hear that melody kick in, and I think, oh fuck, wish I could have made that song, wish I could have been on that song, wish I could have been with that person when they made that song, and I could have been on it, or a feature. And that's part of my, you know, quote unquote business plan, is make that song before they do.
What has Just WRLD left Lil Rev? What will you carry on? What would you like to carry on? Elements of what he's left.
Well, I think if you listen to my music immediately, obviously there's a mix of other artists, because I don't just listen to Just WRLD. Just WRLD was always especially over the last year, he was always my favourite artist. From the second I heard him, he was my favourite artist, and it's now at this point that I've kind of just, obviously for my generation, it's different. It's different than these other people that would jump to Tupac or jump to Biggie, which obviously I respect them as legends, but for my generation, just for me and how I've got into music, in my opinion, Just WRLD's the best artist of all time. And that's not me saying that because he died yesterday. I've said that from the start, and he's left me. If you can listen to my music, you can hear the influences from Just WRLD. You can hear it like that.
How would you compare Just WRLD to, say, Tupac, Snoop Dogg, 69, Dre, all the rest of them? I mean, I'm obviously picking big names here, but obviously because I don't know a lot about what's happening there. But what category would you put him in compared to these big names?
Well, first of all, you mentioned 6ix9ine. I'll just take him right out there.
Right.
I think I actually really enjoy his music, 6ix9ine, a lot. I think he's really good, but just fuck him away, because it does not compare to Just WRLD in the slightest. Not in the slightest. Tupac and Biggie. Do you know, people will say rap's rap. It's like apples and oranges. For me at least, Tupac, Biggie, Dre, Snoop, they were the start of a generation. You know, a generation that I wouldn't say it's gone, but like, I mean, it has passed as a generation. Doesn't mean it's not still enjoyed around the globe today, but it has passed. And in today's modern generation, I think, especially, well, to me anyway, not just because he's passed, but the three biggest inspirations for me in my entire music is Lil Peep, XXXTentacion, and Just WRLD. And today or yesterday was really fucking hard to go through.
But let's go back to Lil Rev for just a wee bit here. What's going through Lil Rev's head when Lil Rev is recording? What emotions is going through your head?
Well,
what's in there?
Well, first I want to talk about the standard kind of stuff. Standard kind of stuff is, I'll get behind the mic, I'll have something wrote out to a beat, I'll have something done, and I will jump up and I'll get in the studio and I'll sit behind the mic and I'll record it. It won't be mixed or anything like that, but it's like finding a diamond in the rough. I'll hear it and it'll click and I'll be like, that's something that's going to be big, that's going to be a song. And yesterday I recorded, I couldn't stay in the house. I was in there for 10 hours just bawling my eyes out. It was terrible. And at the end of the night, I had to let something out, and I went to the studio, and that was the first time ever that I went in the studio and felt, and not heard a song and felt happy about it. I was listening to my own music, my own voice, like saying back to me basically that I was never going to see this guy ever again, never going to hear from him in the same way as before, and that just broke me.
You'll never see him, you'll never hear from him, but you'll always hear him.
And what really hit me was, I saw this somebody commented, I can't remember who it was, I wish I would quote them if I could. I went in the comment section of one of the videos, and someone had said how painful the next couple of years are going to be, and then past that how great they're going to be, watching ourselves grow old, but he'll stay young forever.
Who influenced Juice WRLD?
Influenced Juice WRLD? He had big influences. Chief Keef, a lot of Tupac, a lot of that stuff. Influences were just mental, Future, Young Thug, these people that he, which is brilliant, he managed to collaborate with them. He managed to come up and meet these people and do something with them, and all the stuff that he managed to do in the time before he passed is fantastic. It's more than you could dream for. But that's my firm belief. Give him 10, not even 10 years, and he'd be firmly cemented. He'd be one of the gods. He's a young god. He's a young god, and my only hope is that he's up there now with Peep and with X, and he's.
What do you think they'll be saying to him when he's with them up there? What do you think they'll be saying to him? What do you think they'll be talking about?
I just think, I think more than anything, the Peep and X will be consoling him, because if I know Juice, he'd be heartbroken right now. Not because he's gone, but because he's left so many people behind that will never. He'll probably be thinking to himself, all those things I should have said, I didn't get the chance, and they need to know, and they're all hurting for me down there, and I'm not there to tell them that it's going to be okay, and they'll be consoling him and saying, like, stuff like this happens, and me and him got through it, so you're going to get through it too, and they'll never forget you. They will never will. You'll live on.
But his music lives forever. Okay, everybody, I'd like to thank you to the first podcast there with the MAIRSY Concept, sitting here with Lil Rev talking about Juice WRLD, and we'll welcome you back in the near future.